I'm gonna cry because it's just like when you feel something in your heart, like you have to go after it. Visualization and manifestation is so real, and I need y'all to understand this because God was really on my side. He was guiding me. He was literally leading me here.
Y'all, we are motherfucking back after 6 months. I am so excited to be back on here. Welcome to Jada Unfiltered. We have a little bit of a different setup today, just a little smidge. Before we get started, if you are new to this series, this is the corner of the internet where we are just real, we are raw, okay, and we are unfiltered. And basically in this podcast, I just talk about topics that kind of just come into mind and that I feel like we should just chat about, you know, just real life things. Kind of like my personal diaries, so kind of just come along. This setup is a little bit different. My name is Jada Desiree. Welcome again to my channel. On this channel, I do travel vlogs. I do regular vlogs. I just kind of post whatever Jada wants to post, okay? But this setup is coming from Dallas, Texas, y'all. And that is exactly what this episode is going to be about today. Is we are talking about my move, and like everything just happened so freaking quickly. I haven't even been on the internet for months. It literally says on my YouTube it's been 7 months since I posted on my YouTube. I know, y'all, I know, but we have a little bit of an okay setup today. It is a sunrise kind of coming up, but it's all right. We still gonna get on the program. I'm so excited to see y'all. It feels so good to be back. Okay, it feels so good to be back. I think I'm gonna have to go warm my tea back up, but make sure y'all get y'all drinks, okay? It is January, so yeah, we have a lot to catch up on, but make sure before we get started, girl, guy, whoever is watching, okay, get your tea, get your water, get whatever you feel comfortable with, because we're gonna be here chatting for a minute. So let's go ahead and get with it, honey. I am 22 years old. Excuse me. I am from Jacksonville, Florida, and I just moved to Dallas, Texas around 6 months ago. Almost, yeah, well, exact today actually marks 6 months completely. But yeah, so I moved to Dallas, Texas 6 months ago, and this is my story on how I moved from my hometown by myself, solo, cross country over 1,000 miles away, and ended up here in Dallas. So I'm excited to talk about this story because honestly, I have met a couple of people and I have talked about this story before, but it's just gonna feel even better to kind of just go more into depth exactly about my move. So if you are here, thank you so much for joining me, and I'm really excited to get into it. So today we're gonna talk about kind of like why I moved, what that journey looked like, and the truth behind starting over for the first time by myself and how exactly I've been adjusting to life solo. First, again, to give a little bit more of a backstory. So back in Jacksonville, for the last couple of years before I did move, me and my mother had an apartment together. I never really filmed I think I have a lot of vlogs on my channel. You guys can go back from the past couple of years of me and my mom in that apartment together. I never really showed my mom. I don't think so. She's never usually in my video. She doesn't mind, but you know, never really in the videos. But we had an apartment together for 2 months. That was actually my first time paying rent and actually like paying big girl bills. Okay, in that apartment I got my first car. That was my first apartment. Me and my mom's name was literally on that lease, okay, period. So that was my first like big girl responsibility, okay? And I actually moved into that apartment when I was 19. So I have been on my own and paying bills since I was 19 years old. And I think it was really great, and honestly it was really grateful to be able to find an apartment and to stay with my mom, because it wasn't just a random person. So I always had someone to kind of fall back on and to kind of help me in days that, you know, you kind of do need help or do need a little pick me up. But I also felt like, you know, it was time for a change. Okay, being in Jacksonville my whole life, it was getting to be a little bit suffocating. That's how it felt. That's the best way I can describe it. It felt suffocating, and it was just like, okay, I can't grow here anymore. My time here in Jacksonville is done. So every day, every morning, every night, it was just bothering me so bad. But it didn't start until, it didn't really, like, I knew I was probably gonna move, maybe, I didn't know when. I was just really comfortable, to be honest, but it didn't really hit me until after my 21st birthday trip. If y'all haven't seen that vlog, go see it. It's when I went to the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, by myself for the first time. And honestly, hold on, let me make sure this audio is recording. Yes, so that was my first like big girl solo trip, and it was after my trip that I came back, and I was like, it was around the end of September, and I was like, I have to move. Like, at the end of September, our lease ended around April of the next year. So that was September 2024, to be specific with the dates. At the end of September 2024, that's when I had the epiphany when I came back from my trip. I knew I needed a change, and it just hit me, and I didn't know where exactly I wanted to move, but I just knew I could not renew this lease for a third year. It just was not sitting with me. Okay, I was getting super uncomfortable with the fact that, you know, absolutely not, we cannot renew. And I love my mom, and so it was a part of me that kind of felt guilty for wanting to leave her and to kind of venture out on my own, because like, girl, how dare you leave your mother, you know? So if any of you can freaking relate to whatever it is that I am talking about, please let me know in the comments. If you have similar stories, please let me know. I would love to hear them. If you guys want to know anything else about my story or about my life, just let me know. Okay, I am so open to video request and topic request for this podcast, because I just genuinely love yapping. So just let me know what to yap about next. But anyways, also go follow my socials down below. My Instagram, which is official J Desiree, my TikTok, which is Jada X Desiree, and those are my two main platforms that I'm super active on. So yes. So I've also just currently posted my moving series on my TikTok, so go watch that, because I got a lot of great feedback from there and people wanting a story time. So here's the story time, the full version, to get back into the story. So again, I was feeling a little bit guilty, but I knew at the end of September, okay, I have to move. And I'm a very spiritual person, so I was just really kind of waiting to see what felt right for me. So I did a lot of journaling. This is around the time that I also started The Artist Way. I will link that book in the description if you guys want to get it, because when I tell y'all, this book literally changed my life, and I'm not even saying that in like a cliche way. The Artist Way by Julia Cameron, I will get it in a second, but this book, I made an entire video on my TikTok about it as well, so you can find it on there. But when I tell you, I'm gonna get to that, but it was life-changing, so just stay tuned. This was around at the end of September, and I was like, okay Jada, we have to move. And I don't know where I want to move yet. I don't know where I want to go. Time passed. Around this time, I started kind of going inward a lot. I was taking a lot more solo dates. I was taking solo dates before I took like my big girl trip to Dominican Republic, but I went to like the beach by myself, and I did like a little sunrise date. I went to Miami to go see Kaylani alone. I kind of just wanted to spend a lot more time by myself to kind of just reflect and see where am I at in life right now. And So a few months passed, and it didn't hit until the new year came around. I was like, okay, I did my vision board. Cool. Then I was like, okay, one of the things for the new year is like, I want to do a challenge and I want to like stick to it. So I did a challenge called 75 Aligned. I do have a video up on this channel about 75 Aligned, but if you guys know anything about 75 hard or 75 soft, I made my own challenge called 75 Aligned, where I made my own rules, and you can go watch that video, kind of go back in depth. I kind of forgot a couple of the rules, so I don't want to butcher what my rules were, so just go back and watch that video. It's a couple videos back, but it was like from 9 or 10 months ago, and that was around the time, it was around, I think end of February, beginning of March. And I knew over these few months that I was not going to be renewing my lease. I didn't know how, but I knew I was going to move. Exactly where, I hadn't really uncovered that, but I think over the time also, I was like feeling Texas. So it was just like, okay, so it was off and on. I was feeling Texas for some reason. Again, I've never visited Texas before. And I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. We're just going to keep pushing. So I did. I just let the days pass by. And then I started the Artist Way end of February, beginning of March. And I think this was around the time also that this is when Doechii had just won her award at the Grammys, right? Was it the Grammys? Yeah. So she had just won an award, and I was just like, that's when I was like super heavy into Doechii and like wanting to know her story. I'd never heard of Doechii before, but I wanted to know more about her because I was like, girl, who are you? And you just got a Grammy, honey. But it was for like Best New Artist or something like that. So I like was doing so much research on Doechii, and I came across her YouTube, right? And I was like scrolling back at her old videos, and it was like the most popular videos where she got fired from Chipotle, and how she was basically just documenting her life because she wanted to be a YouTuber and she wanted to be super big online as like an online presence, right? And she was growing, and you could tell she's a very expressive, theatrical type of girly. That's just how she's always been. She's been very expressive, right? And so it was just so intriguing to see her story. So it was like another video that went viral, and it was just like it's actually titled "I Got Fired, Thank God." I don't know, I kept binge watching, and it was just something that was very inspiring about her story of her just going after what she's always wanted, and how successful she is right now because of it, you know? And so that was very inspiring. And then I seen her do a weekly recap of this book called The Artist Way. That's also when that book was completely blowing up at that time because of Doechii, and everyone was kind of doing a backstory on her, and they realized that she did go through this 12-week artist recovery program. And so I was like, I kept seeing videos. I was like, okay, let me see, because right now, and it came at the perfect time because your girl was fucking stuck, okay? I was really stuck. I didn't know where to go in my creative journey. I just knew I always know what I want. Like, I've always known what I wanted, but I never really acted on it. And so it kept bothering me. It kept eating at me every day. It kept getting worse. So I started The Artist Way, and I stuck with, and when I started The Artist Way, I also did 75 Aligned. So I was working out every day. I had like a day of rest recovery. I was also focusing on trying to eat a little bit better. That wasn't really my main focus though. My main focus was just discipline and just showing myself that I could stick to these same set of rules every day for 3 months. So it was basically just like kind of like a mind thing, and I definitely did stick with it. Like, thank you so much. I know, let's clap it up for me. I know I did it. But I was consistent, and that was all that really mattered to me. I also started The Artist Way, and basically what I was doing every morning it's called morning pages that Julia Cameron describes them as. So it was just journaling every single morning for 12 weeks, which was the 3 months, and I think it actually fit in perfectly with 75 Aligned and with the Artist Recovery Program. So yeah, it was around 3 months, and every morning I was journaling, and I also would play this subliminal in the background on my TV. And if y'all hear the little fireplace right now, but yes, so I would play this subliminal, and every morning I would write and journal and get all of my feelings out first thing in the morning. And it was mandatory that you had to write 3 pages. So I did. Every single morning I wrote 3 pages. There were a couple of days where I did not. I kind of forgot, and I kind of pushed it off and waited until the last minute, so it technically wasn't a morning page. But anyways, I just kept going, and it felt really good after doing my morning pages. You had weekly reflections from the Artist Way, so I was able to reflect weekly on what it is that I'm feeling. She gave you prompts. She gave you kind of direction to go. Just stay tuned until the end of the video. I will grab the book and I will kind of go over a couple of them with you, or I can just do a whole separate video on that. Just let me know. But the book is linked down below, or you can do a lot more research on it on your own, whatever you feel called to do, if it's something you're interested in. And I think around, not even a month in, it was around March, the middle of March, and I went to Atlanta with my mom. I think she was just going for the weekend for like a comedy trip or something, and I just decided, she was like, hey, you want to come with me? I was like, okay, sure. So I was like, I haven't been to Atlanta in a minute, let's go. I was like, we have family there, maybe we could visit family. And so I got there, and I actually met up with my dad. I hadn't seen him for a few months, so that was really cool. And we had us a good time there. It's now like April, and I'm like, okay, Jada, it kept eating at me every day about me not being consistent with my content, about just certain personal goals that I was not meeting and that I didn't feel fulfilled in. Again, it was just like, okay, I have to move. So I told myself, I was like, okay. I kept going back and forth because I was telling myself, Jada, no, you don't need to move right now. It's not the smartest thing to do. You don't even have anything saved up to move. It's not the smartest thing. So I was just like, okay, at least during these 12 weeks when I was in the Artist Way, we're gonna retrack. Y'all just stay with me. Okay, we're working on our story times. It's been a minute since I've been back on YouTube. Cut me some grace. Okay. Over these few months, I kept getting signs, and I kept getting nudges that Dallas, okay, so I was thinking of Texas at first. Again, I've never visited Texas in my entire life at this point, but my lease is coming up and I feel called to Texas. I'm like, okay. So I kept doing a lot of research, and I thought that it was going to be Houston. This was during the Artist Way program, and I thought it was going to be Houston. I was like, okay, maybe Houston, because when you first think of Texas, I always thought the first thing of Houston and Megan and whatever. So I thought that, and I'm like, okay, not Houston. I kept doing research. Houston just seems so party, go, super just super into the young nightlife. Not saying of course I'm young, but that's just not the type of vibes. I don't want to be party, rah, go all the time, right? So I was just like, okay. And then the second city that popped up was Dallas. I was like, it has to be Texas, because Texas just feels like home right now. Again, never visited, but I'm just going with what I've been feeling. So then I thought Dallas, and I'm like, okay, Dallas. And I'm like, Dallas seems like the perfect mix of a good time. I want to go out and have a good time, but I also want to have that. There's a lot of family friendly things here. And it's just the scenery is so diverse here, and also the weather. I knew the weather was going to be completely different. Going from a Florida girl coming to Dallas, it was just I didn't know how the weather was going to be. As far as the heat, I'm used to the heat, but this heat here is a dry heat compared to Florida. It's more of a humid heat. It's a humid heat here too, but it can be a lot drier sometimes. But anyways, so yeah, Dallas kept popping up, and when I tell y'all, it felt so good after having that realization. That was in I had to have that, I think, in between October to I think the end of 2025. I had that realization that Dallas was gonna be it, but I was just being in denial a little bit, like, girl, but wait, hold on, we're not ready to move, like, what are you thinking? So I was like, in a way, trying to prepare, but I didn't really take it serious, to be honest. So fast forward a few months, I kept seeing signs everywhere. Like, I kept seeing angel numbers, I kept seeing like the Dallas Cowboy, I kept seeing license plates, like Texas license plates in Florida. I've never seen that before. So I was like, okay, Lord, like, what are you telling me about Texas? I was like, I'd never been. So again, this is when I was kept coming back into my head about moving. It's now nearing the end of May. At least if I don't move to Dallas, I need to go visit. So I ended up just last minute just booking like a weekend trip to come to Dallas. And I stayed at the Sheraton. It was by the Galleria. I was like, okay, let me just see what the weekend is about. I went on to Eventbrite and I was wanting to see like what events are here in Dallas. What can I do? I tried to plan. That was the only thing I planned ahead was this fitness class. It was a Pilates in the park with True Fusion, and it was in the AT&T Discovery District Park. And that was the only thing I kind of like planned before I got here. I kind of just wanted to come here on a whim and see what the atmosphere was like. But again, Dallas already felt like home to me before even coming here. Like before even moving here, it felt like home. So the trip wasn't more so as confirmation. It was more of just wanting to explore this new city that I'm about to call home, whether it's this year or next year, I don't care, but I'm coming to Dallas. So I wanted to just feel the atmosphere and just see what my home was going to be like, pretty much. I didn't know how I was going to get here. I didn't know how I was going to move. I just knew I'm coming to Dallas, like, and I'm going to be moving here. So that felt really good. I'm going back and feeling all the feels right now. But yeah, so yeah, I booked a trip, a weekend trip in Dallas, and yeah, so I just explored the entire weekend, and I am going to be posting that vlog, so stay tuned. I haven't posted any YouTube videos since I've been here in Dallas, and I've just been kind of settling in. There's no excuse, but I feel called to come back now, so that's all that matters. So yeah, I booked my trip. I went to the True Fusion class, and y'all, it was a hot Pilates class. It killed my ass, right? At the end of that class, I was talking to a couple of girlies. I kind of stayed after, talking to a couple girls, and yeah, it was just a vibe. And then I came across this person, and we're gonna call this person Bob. We're gonna call him Bob, just a random name, I don't know, Billy Bob. We're just gonna call him Bob. But yeah, so Bob came around and just came up, and he was with a friend, and he was talking, and he came up and he was like, he was just telling us about like an event and stuff that was going on in the area, about a restaurant or something that just opened. And we got to chatting all night. It was nothing like that at all. But I don't know, I felt very comfortable talking to this person. This was a stranger, mind you, okay? Never met this person before. He was a native here, so he's been here all his life. And I was like, okay. And we ended up just talking all night, all freaking night, like hours and hours and hours. We didn't like go back up to my hotel or anything, but we just went to like this restaurant, and we were just talking, and it just felt so fucking comfortable. Again, it wasn't a romantic vibe, but this person was just reiterating everything that was going on in my mind that I never mentioned out loud, and I thought was like, wow, like what the fuck is going on? So I knew then and there that I was comfortable because of what was going on. So before I even got on the plane, I was just like, Lord, just show me 111 if this is where I'm supposed to be. I already knew Dallas was where I'm supposed to be. I already felt it in my soul, but I was just like, okay, Lord, tell me if 111. Y'all, tell me when I got on this trip, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry because it's just like when you feel something in your heart, like you have to go after it. Like you have to. It's mandatory. Because if I like didn't go on this trip, I don't know. I don't know how it would have unfolded. So Anyways, I was like, okay, Lord, just show me 111 if this is where I'm supposed to be in my life right now. Y'all, I kid you not, I got off of that plane and I went to go pick up my rental car for the weekend. It was like a Kia Soul they gave me, and for the rental car it was like 136, right? And she's like, wait, hold on. So she's doing her calculations, she's getting ready to, you know, give me the keys. Y'all, she's like, oh wait, hold on. She was like, hold on, the price changed. And the price went down. Y'all, the price went down to $111. And oh my gosh, this is crazy just thinking about that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you, God. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yes, so I got that and I was like, okay. And so the Kia Soul, it didn't have CarPlay, right? So the guy that was outside of the rental place, he just suggested, he was like, okay, that's fine, like I can just help you go in there. I can just get you another car with CarPlay. Y'all, I got upgraded to a way newer 2024 Kia Forte or something like that. I don't know, it was a newer Kia. I absolutely freaking loved this Kia. The CarPlay was so cool. But anyways, y'all, so fast forward back to when I was talking to the guy. I swear he was like a guardian angel that came down, and we just talked for hours and hours and hours, and that was my confirmation. We exchanged contacts and I went back home after the weekend. And y'all, I kid you not, he was like, because I remember, y'all, like visualization and manifestation is so real, and I need y'all to understand this, not forcefully but just naturally. Because y'all, I swear that this person helped me freaking move here. Like, if it was not for this person, once I got back home, I would have reverted back into my old self, my old ways of thinking. And like, this person was on it with me. Like, when I tell you, was like, okay, like, it's time to get a move on, like it's time for you to move, like right now. And it wasn't like, obviously anybody could tell you that, but it felt right in my spirit, it felt right in my soul. It felt right in my soul that I was supposed to be moving. So when I tell you, this was at the beginning of June. And y'all, it was the first weekend of June. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I was so on it once I got back. I was doing so much research every day. I was finding apartments. So I was like going on apartments.com, and over like a week or two, not only was I looking online, this person was also here in Dallas helping me look for these apartments, y'all. He was on it just as much as I was. Like, y'all, I'm gonna cry just thinking about it, because God was really on my side. He was guiding me. He was literally leading me here. And anyways, so he was helping me, and let me get it together. So yeah, so he went on a few tours for me. He actually had just called me out of the blue and was just like, okay, like I'm at these apartments, and yeah, like, what's your information? They're going to send you some apartments, let you know what's available, the budget. I let him know the area. I let him know what my budget was looking like. And so when I tell y'all, he was helping me as if like he was getting paid to do this. Like, I was paying him $100,000 out of my pocket and his life depended on it. Like, he was so determined to help me. And if it wasn't for his determination and like making sure that I found a place, because what I was basically just chatting with him about was the fact that I know I was supposed to move here. So I know in my heart and soul that I was going to be moving here. I was just really skeptical if it was going to be, well, last year I moved. So if it was technically going to be last year when my lease ended at my old apartment, or when it was going to be whether I sign another year, I was like, I'm going to end up in Dallas, whether it was this year as well. Like, I was going to be there. So he helped me out so incredibly much. Finally, there was apartments nearby by me, and I was just like, no, I was like, it's just something about this apartment is not it. It's not it. So y'all, finally I came across the apartments that I'm at now, and when I tell y'all, these apartments is literally the perfect thing and exactly what I have manifested to the T. Y'all, I got a huge special on this apartment, and I couldn't even do a virtual tour, right? So the person that I had met here, he came here on his free time, okay? And he toured this apartment for me. He came up, he talked to the leasing agent, and they did a FaceTime call and showed me around the available units. Came across this one, y'all. I was so set on a 1-bedroom 1-bathroom. Like, I was not wanting to shy away because I was like, I want fucking space. I don't want to be in a damn studio apartment. But then again, this person and also me, he kind of instilled in me, like, girl, you just need to get here. You just need to get here to Dallas. And I was like, you know what? I had to put my pride aside, and I was like, you know what? We're right. We are just like, I was like, right now, I just need to be in Dallas. Like, I just felt a soul pull that Dallas, Texas is where I am supposed to be in my life right now. Whatever purpose it is supposed to be served in my life, my dream life is supposed to be here. The people that I meet, it's supposed to happen. Like, life is supposed to happen here for me right now in this stage of my life. So finally, y'all, again, I came across these apartments, did a virtual tour, and I came across, and then they finally showed this unit. Y'all, it's a studio apartment, okay? Again, I was dead set, and like, if you ask my mom or ask my family members, they would tell you that I'm stubborn. I wouldn't say I'm stubborn. I just know what I want, and when I want it, I get it, okay? And I'm very just dead set on it. And so again, but this situation, I had to put my pride to the side. So we made it here. I did a video call, and I was like, it's so small. I was like, it's cute, but it's, I don't know. Y'all, first of all, this apartment is in the location that I wanted. It has the view that I want, that I literally manifested and freaking scripted about. Okay. Also, it was also in the price range. It was also affordable. Okay, when I tell you the specials were so good, but I had to get it when I got it, right? And so I literally got it a month before literally everything that I scripted about I got. The specials were so good, but I had to get it when I got it. So after 2 weeks of literally just apartment searching, and I found this apartment, I found it in 2 weeks, right? As soon as I did this tour, almost about a week and a half, 2 weeks, coming back from Dallas from visiting, y'all, this ain't nothing but God. I swear, that same day that I toured this apartment, they went right downstairs. I did my online application. I got approved for this apartment 2 seconds. Like, it took 2 seconds. Like, when I tell you I had just pressed submit on this application, boom, immediately approved. And I remember being so happy. I remember, like, I have videos just looking back, and y'all, like, I got approved so fast. And so it was very unexpected. I didn't have anything saved up for this trip. I didn't have money saved up for this move that I was going to be making, and it was going to be solo, right? So I got approved for this application. I paid first month's rent already for this apartment, and I didn't even move in until a month later. So I paid for a whole month of this apartment, and I wasn't even here yet. Y'all, I didn't know what was going to happen with my job. I was just like, okay, wait, am I going to transfer? What am I going to do? So I decided at that moment, literally it was a month before I moved. I had 1 month to prepare and get the fuck out of my hometown. So as soon as I got approved for my apartment, I went straight to my HR, and I was like, okay, listen, I need to transfer. What are some locations? And, you know, what are some locations I can transfer to? So y'all, again, there was nothing coming through for this transfer. So, like, none of the locations that I was trying to transfer to here in Dallas were getting back, like not one single person. And every day I was following up with my HR, like, okay, like I need a job, like when I move, like. And so eventually I kind of just left it all up to God. I was just like, listen, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I'm doing whatever I can on my part as far as being persistent and making sure I try to find this transfer. Nothing was coming through. Nobody was responding. But again, I had to move. I had to get out of the apartment that me and my mom were staying in, and I had to move. I had to get a move on. So again, I started preparing, and I started getting boxes and literally just packing up my apartment. I didn't know how my job situation was going to be. I had barely anything saved up to move solo, but I just saved I did what I could. I bought my moving truck, and I didn't know how I was going to get there either, but I did. I was just like, okay, let me just get the smallest moving truck I need, because it was just my bedroom stuff and like my bathroom stuff that I had to pack up. So I didn't need anything super huge. And I was like, okay, I brought all of my furniture pieces with me, all of that. And y'all, I didn't even tell my family that I was moving until, well, my mom had to know, because obviously we were in the lease together. So I wanted to let her know ahead of time. But she wasn't for sure and certain on my answer, because I was so back and forth. Again, I was still stuck in my old identity of like, but wait, I'm not prepared to move, that I was in this like paralysis in a way of like kind of just getting in my own way, knowing that this was something that I needed to do coming here, but I kept procrastinating on it. Y'all, I didn't tell my other family that I was moving until a week before I moved. Nobody knew. My mom didn't even know that I had this apartment already set in stone. She knew like a week before. And my uncle, I didn't tell my uncle or my mimi or nobody knew, but they did help me make this move to Dallas. So my grandmother and my uncle, they drove the U-Haul here. Me and my mom drove my car here. And yeah, from Jacksonville to Dallas, it was over 1,000 miles. So it was around a 14-hour drive, and I made it here on July 20th, 2025. Go check out my TikToks. Also check out my vlogs that are upcoming. But you will see me view the apartment for the first time after signing virtually, literally with no view of this apartment before except on FaceTime. I had to just hope I was going to be in a good area. I literally had to Google Maps the area, and I didn't know how to feel about it. I was just like, all right, we made it. We're here. There's a thing after like 6 months where you could like change, and you could find a different apartment, a different unit, or whatever it is. So I was just like, it's okay if it's that bad. We'll just stay here for the 6 months, and we will move on. No ASMR. But yeah, I literally manifest this exact place. That is absolutely crazy. So I've been here for exactly 6 months today. It is January 20th, 2026. I know. But I was just waiting for the right time to kind of come on here and tell you guys. And I feel like now definitely is. I'm filming this on my phone because I just recently went on a trip to Los Angeles last weekend, and I dropped my camera for the second time again. And I need to send it back into Sony. So on the phone for right now is doable. Moving to Dallas, I feel like I was just searching. I just knew I was supposed to come here, but before I was just making intentions of like, I just want to stick with what I want to go with this for me, my content creation, just personal goals. I was just like, I need a place where I can thrive in that. And Dallas kept coming to me. So the more Dallas was coming to me, the more uncomfortable I kept feeling in my hometown, which is the more of what kept telling me like, it was time to go. It was time to go. It was a nudge. It kept nudging me so bad. Like, it was so aching every day. I kept thinking about Dallas and how much it felt like home. And I never even stepped foot into this state or in the scenery before. And so that person, that guy really coming in, and like, he was literally a guardian angel. I know that he was, because he was so on it with making sure that I was comfortable and that I found somewhere here that I enjoyed. Oh, how did I feel after I moved here? Let's get into that. So, how did I feel moving here? Once I got here, honestly, I was just so excited. Like, I moved here in the peak of it being summertime, so I was at the pool every day. Oh my gosh, when I first got here, at the pool all the time. Like, the pool, hate to see me coming. I was there every weekend. I met a lot of like my neighbors and stuff there, and it was just such a vibe. It was such a vibe being here. I feel like I came here at like a perfect time where like it was summer, and then now we're in like winter, so it's like cold, and it kind of get like a good season change, which is really nice and I have been here 6 months, like I said, and I don't feel homesick at all. Like, I love it here so much. Like, I was literally just in Los Angeles last weekend, and I was thinking about Dallas. Like, I was like, when do I get to go back home right now? Because I was there for almost a week, and I was like, okay, I low-key am ready to come back to Dallas. So I love it here so bad. And what do I love about here? It's the atmosphere. It is just the vibe. It just feels like home, you know? I get so excited. Like, I drive through the city and I just feel this like there's just so much opportunity here. There's so much life to be lived here. It's like, it just feels like a dream. It feels dreamy. Like how people would explain probably moving to like their dream city, like Los Angeles or whatever it is that feels good to them. It feels so euphoric. And it just feels like I have so much opportunity out here. I feel like I am going to just thrive even better here. And it just feels like home. And that's what I freaking love. And I don't know, I love it. Okay, so let's just talk about kind of like my life here, kind of like starting again. I have met a lot of people. I have met so many amazing people. I have been to like what I love fitness. I love like fitness classes, so I've been to a lot of Pilates in the park. I have been to different events. Like, there was a Netflix pop-up in November of last year. I went to that. What are some other things, you guys? I've been to like finding good bars and restaurants. There's so many cutesy and aesthetic places, and I've just been finding people along my way of just my daily commutes, and I love it. One thing about here though is that one thing people are going to do is they're going to rep Dallas Cowboys. Okay, like if you ever like went into a coma and you forgot where you were, oh, don't worry, honey. Get up and go walk on the street. Everyone's gonna have on a hat and a shirt of the Dallas Cowboys or have something Dallas related, so you'll never forget where you are. But honestly, what are some other things that I would say I'm surprised about? I wouldn't say I'm surprised about the weather, because I knew that the weather wasn't going to be like Florida. I don't know. It's just a different vibe, a different atmosphere. So I love it. Next, let's get into some lessons that I have learned so far being here. Let's just talk a little bit about the expectation versus reality of moving by yourself on your own. So there's this expectation of like, it's going to be so easy and it's just gonna flow, or I feel like everyone kind of has a lot of blockage, especially if you are living with family or you are living with like a friend. You can kind of get really comfortable in that, but I really advise anyone and everyone in their life to please live solo once in your life. Sign a 1-year lease and just live solo by yourself, y'all. The amount that I grow every day, like I grow every single day, and I learn so much more about myself. I love taking solo dates and taking myself out and journaling and just loving on myself, because I get to learn more about myself every day, and it honestly surprises me sometimes. Like I've unlocked a new era of me that I really adore. Being on my own, it kind of definitely set into motion the responsibility. And it didn't even feel heavier. It actually still felt lighter. Obviously I know, and I'm like, okay, I'm by myself, so obviously everything is on me. The bills are on me, but it's not a weighing feeling. And with my mom, it was amazing staying with her in the apartment, but I was too comfortable. I was way too comfortable, and I needed to take a risk on myself. I needed to take a jump. I needed to take a leap on me, and I'm so glad I did. And I pay for things on my own, I pay for things, obviously everything on my own, but the freedom that comes with it, it's so unmatched. It's so unmatched. And I really need everyone in their life to experience this. If you have never lived alone before, please experience it. Like, you get to decorate, like I get to decorate the space as my own. I get to do whatever I want. I can plan my days however I want. I feel so blessed. I have my own car. I have my own apartment. I'm living in like my dream city with my dream view and my dream location. Like, I'm really living my life. And of course there are things that that are just lining up so perfectly for me right now as far as my personal goals, but I am living my life. But sometimes you have to take that risk, and sometimes that risk could be moving somewhere far away that's out of your comfort zone, but you feel called to go. Just do it. Transfer your job if you need to, okay? Save up a few dollars and just find a way. Like, literally find a solution, okay? Stop making problems for yourself and find a damn solution to get what you want, okay? Life is too short for you to just be sitting here being somewhere where you are not happy, okay? So figure out a way, make it work, and do what you love to do, okay? Any advice that I probably give to myself before moving is definitely save your money. I honestly didn't have anything. Y'all know that audio where it's like on TikTok where it's just like, girl, just get that apartment.
Girl, you don't have to save to get your own apartment. Just go get that motherfucker. Go get it with next week check. That's what I did. People telling you to save for your own apartment, people telling you to do this. Go get that motherfucker next week. Next time you get paid, go get you an apartment. That's what I did. I didn't save shit. I waited till the next check and I want to go got me a motherfucking apartment. That's what you go do.
When that next check come in, I'm gonna play it in this video, but it's like, when that next check come in, like, just get the apartment, baby. That's literally what I did, and it was over 1,000 miles away, and I just was on faith. I didn't even have a job for 2 weeks. I forgot to add that. I didn't have a job for 2 weeks when I moved here. Yeah, and I was enjoying life. Shit. I would definitely say to save, and that's really pretty much it, honestly. Probably save a little bit more, but I mean, everything worked out perfectly when I got here. I knew it was going to, so just advice. Just save like an amount. I wouldn't even say a specific amount. Save whatever you feel is good. Like, save probably 2 to 3 months just to be safe. Save up to 3 months, I would say, of like rent. I don't know, I'm such a go with the flow type of girly, so I feel like things will line up perfectly and you may not even have to save that money. Someone could come in and just automatically give you like a $10,000 loan or something, like, not a loan, but they could just gift you $10,000 to move and do what you want to do. Anything could happen in this world, so I'm not like limited on what you should do. So do whatever feels right, honestly. This is what I'm going to say, and what I'm going to end off with is, if it is on your heart, take that leap. You won't regret it. If it is something that has been on your heart, whether it is to move to another country, another state, another city, whether it's if even 2 hours, a 2-hour road trip, or even around the corner, move. If it's out of a place that you are, don't stay stagnant, okay? It's going to keep bothering you, and it's going to keep eating at you if you don't take action and you don't take that risk, a calculated risk, whatever you want to. I really just went for it with me, but maybe save up a little bit more. But if it's on your heart, do it. Nothing changes if nothing changes, okay? I promise you, you will not regret being there for yourself. You will not regret showing up for yourself in those times. Like, the time is right now to start making those changes in your life, okay? And I really hope that you do. If it's on your heart, I know you have probably felt this on your heart with whatever in life that you are dealing with. Go after, do it. It's there for a reason. Don't leave it hanging, okay? Because it's just going to get more miserable for you. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So just take action right now. And you may not know the end of picture. Stop trying to have such a plan all the time. Like, some things in life, you just have to be open to whatever the universe is willing to put in your path, because it could work out completely better than what you were planning or expecting. You just have to be open and allow that to just come into your life. And I promise you, that's what I did. It felt so much free. Like it just feels so free. Okay. And I am so done with talking. I've been talking for so long, but thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm excited for you guys to hear my story, and the story time has been a little bit all over the place, but just stay tuned. I'm so ready to continue posting my Jada Unfiltered episodes, my vlogs. Just stay tuned with me. Again, if you want to stay updated with me, check out my socials. It is, again, official J Desiree on Instagram, and it is Jada X Desiree on my TikTok. We are almost at 4,000. Y'all, I have gained almost 400 followers on my TikTok just from posting my moving series. So yeah, period. I'm not sure what the next episode will be. It may be about burnout and rebuilding creativity, because your girl is in her creative just bag right now and just completely being creative. So stay tuned for the next episode. If you have ever moved to a new city or want to, and you want advice, or you want to just talk and chat with me, my DMs are open, my comments are open. Please reach out to me. I am so open to chatting and just kind of seeing where your head's at and how I could help you, because honestly, my general advice would be just to fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Okay? If it's on your heart, do it. Find a way. Okay? Solution based. We are solution based over here. Okay? Stop complaining. Find a solution. Okay? Figure it out, because it's gonna all work out for you if you just stick to what you know is right in your heart. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me here on this episode of Jada Unfiltered, and catch up on my other videos, and I will see y'all on my next video. Bye, y'all.